guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a step-by-step, really basic, really straightforward makeup tutorial on how to do your makeup properly. So actually before I started my YouTube channel, only about 6 months before I actually learned how to do makeup. I mean, since I was a teenager I wore makeup, but I only wore foundation, eyeliner, mascara and a bit of lipstick, so 4 things. Whereas now it's obviously a lot more extensive, and not till about 6 months before I started my channel did I actually learn about new makeup and how to do my makeup properly. I didn't know how to use eyeshadow, I didn't know how to use bronzers and contours and things like that, and I know that there's a lot of people out there who are like that now, and sometimes people need just simple basic instructions on how to do your makeup, and today is going to be a slow step-by-step tutorial on how to do your makeup. So yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to hydrate my skin. This isn't an essential step. I just like to do this to hydrate my skin and boost and revive my skin a bit in the mornings. This is the Barry Flawless Hydro Fix Primer Water. Very affordable. Oh, by the way, all the products are Drugstore that I'm using. Yep, and this is very affordable. It's just a really nice hydration primer on your face before you apply anything else. It's so good. Now you need some kind of moisturizer on your face, so whether you do this when you first wake up, whether you do this when you do your makeup, that's fine. I always go for one with SPF in the summer, in the winter, any time of year, just because obviously you don't want the sun on your face, but in particular the summer you need an SPF. Now, I'm not going to apply this now because I already have a moisturizer on from when I woke up, but this is the Nivea Day Cream, and it's for dry and sensitive skin. So just apply some sort of moisturizer with an SPF when you first wake up, and then you're going to go in with a primer. So a lot of people say to me, do you really need a primer? And when I first started out, I didn't use primer, I just used this. But now I use a primer every day. And depending on the situation, most of the time I use matte, but sometimes I use like a hydrating primer. It depends how my skin is doing. But because we're in the summer, I am going to go in with a matte primer because I have oily skin. Now this is totally up to you what kind of primer you want to go for, but I love this one. This is the Max Factor Miracle Prep Pore Minimizing and Mattifying Primer. I'm just going to apply it with my Real Techniques stippling brush. You want to focus more of the primer in your T-zone if you have oily skin, because that's where you need the most mattifying control, really. But you obviously want to put it everywhere, but just mainly on the nose area. That's where I get most oily. And then you don't want to apply anything else straight away. You want to leave the primer and the water spray soak into your face. And just to speed up the process, I fan my face. Okay, for foundation. Now because we are in the summer, I have to go for a foundation with an SPF. It's really important to me, but I don't go for foundations with SPF all the other times of the year, just the summer. And this is a really great one. This is the Revlon Colour Stay foundation for combination and oily skin, and it's in the shade 110 Ivory, and it's SPF 15. So you can get this in a dry skin version or an oily skin version. I've got the oily skin version. I'm a little bit more tanned at the moment. I know it doesn't look like I'm much more tanned, but I am. And this is slightly darker than my winter shade. So I really like this, and it does a good job of keeping your oily skin under control whilst also protecting you from the sun. Now, applying foundation is totally up to you. You can use a brush or you can use a sponge. I'm going to use a brush just because it's more full coverage. So if you want a more full coverage look, use a brush. If you want to sheer out the coverage a little bit, use a sponge, but sometimes I apply with a brush and then go over top of it with a sponge. It just depends how the foundation applies and what your personal preference is. So I'm going to be using the Morphe M439 brush. It's a very dense, compact foundation brush, really good for applying foundation. Start off with less, don't apply loads onto the brush. Start off with a little bit and work in sections of your face. As you can see, this brush is giving really good coverage with the foundation. This foundation actually seems a little bit pale for me at the moment because I'm a bit tanned, but it will do. And then once you've done that, just blend it down into your neck a little bit so that there's no harsh lines. Now you can add another layer for coverage if you want, but I quite like this coverage. I like that it looks kind of natural as well on your skin. And in the summer, I don't like to be super full coverage anyway, so this is just enough for me, but it's up to you what you want to do. Now for concealer, I just like to go for a full coverage concealer all the time just to cover up my dark circles, and one that I really love is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Eye Concealer in the shade Fair, and it's like a sponge applicator, and you twist it up, apply it directly under your eye and in the corner of your eye as well. That's where you get the most discoloration. Just apply it like that. Sometimes I apply a little bit on my nose as well, just for more coverage. And then I'm going to blend that in with my Real Techniques contour brush. Just pat, don't rub with this, just pat it into your eyes because your eyes are very sensitive. Just gentle patting. Now moving on to powder. So I like to use a loose powder. Some people prefer pressed powders, it's up to you. I just find loose powders easier to work with and easier to apply. So my favourite is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 05 Fair. So I have two brushes for setting my face for powder. So I have this small one, which I use to set around my eye area, and this larger one to set the rest of my face. So I'm going to go in with my eye one first. This is the Morphe G35. A little bit of powder, set underneath your eye and on the tops of your eyes, and mix it all together. Then do the same for the other eye. Then for the rest of my face, I'm using my Morphe E2 brush. And just set your face. Now it's a choice what you'd like to do next, whether you want to finish up the rest of your face makeup first or move on to your eye makeup. I'm going to do the rest of my face makeup first because I want to set my face with a setting spray, and with eyeliner and mascara on I can't do that, so I like to do my face first, set it, and then do my eyes. So contouring now. Now contouring was the thing that frightened me the most, and I'm sure that's a common theme for a lot of people. Contouring is scary, it's hard, and it does take a lot of practice, so you've just got to persevere, practice, and just take your time with it as well. Now the thing about contouring is finding the right shade for you. So I have extremely pale skin, and I really struggled to find a contour shade that was good for me because most of them looked muddy or just too dark for me. But then I came across this. This is actually a blush. Now this is the NYX HD Taupe blush. It's in the shade Taupe, and it is perfect for pale skin contouring. I use this, it's super pale, it's super light, and it's super easy to work with. So for contouring, I like an angled brush. Now this is the Morphe R4. It's an angled contour brush. So the first thing you're going to do is find your cheekbones. Some people like to do this, so you can see where your cheekbones are. Dip your brush in lightly. Now always go in lightly. It's better to go in lightly and build up than to have too much and then you can't fix it. So just a light amount, find your cheekbone, and back and forth strokes. Like that, back and forth, gently blend. Back and forth. Then you might want to do circles just to blend it through. And then move on to the other side. Same thing. And then you're going to do the forehead as well. So you're going to go across the forehead. And then you're going to do your nose as well, just to make your nose a bit slimmer. Now you're going to bronze. So like the contour, you want to pick a pale bronzer if you have pale skin. You want to try and match it as best as you can to your skin tone. And if you have similar to me, this one is a really pale one. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Light Bronzer. But it does come in a lot more darker shades, but this is the lightest shade they do and it's perfect for my skin tone. Then you're going to take this brush or something similar. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. I actually prefer this for using bronzer than blush. It's kind of like a round, fluffy brush, but it's perfect for fitting in the shape of where you want your bronzer to go. So I really love this brush. Same as the contour, take a little bit, build up, don't go too much to start, and just same as contour, back and forth. But with bronzer, you can be a bit more heavy-handed because there's a bit more leeway with bronzer. It's much easier to blend and it's much easier to work with. So you can go in with a heavier hand with bronzer. And then you're going to do the top again. And then a little bit under your chin. Now for blush, I'm going in with the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the shade Vintage Rouge. It's just a very pale, pinky, nudie blush. And I'm going in with the Real Techniques Multitask Brush. Dip it in. Find the apples of your cheeks, which are here. So if you smile, you can find them. Rub it in on the apples and blend it up. So like this. Find your apples and blend it up. Same on the other side. Apples. Blend it up. Now for highlight, I'm going in with this Colourpop Super Shock Cheek Highlight in the shade Lunch Money. And I'm going to be using a Real Techniques setting brush just because it's a perfect shape for where you want to highlight. So dip it in. This is a cream product, cream to powder, so you need a little bit more product than you'd think. And then on the tops of your cheekbones, right above where you contoured, back and forth, you're going to highlight. Bit more. Same the other side. Now you're going to do the tip of your nose and your Cupid's bow. Now before I set my face, I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So I like to do my eyeshadow and then set it just so my eyeshadow doesn't move throughout the day. So we're moving on to my eyes now, so I'm going to zoom you in. And today I'm going to be using one eyeshadow palette for one look today. And I'm using the Sleek Eye Divine palette in A New Day. This is what it looks like. I've used this palette for quite a while now and I love it. This is what it looks like. Very nude shades. Now with eyeshadow, the first thing you're probably going to do is start with blending a shade through the crease. It's going to be a matte shade through the crease and it's usually going to be a brown neutral nudie shade. So I'm going to take my Morphe R37, which is a round fluffy eyeshadow crease brush. Then I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is a brown crease shade, and I'm going to dip it in a little bit and then pop it through the crease. Same as everything else, do a little bit and then build it up. So just the crease is just right here where there's a crease. Just blend it back and forth, windscreen wipers I always say, back and forth, blending it in. Take your time with this and build it up slowly. This does take practice. Add a little bit more when you need to. And depending on what look you want to go for is how much you apply. So I'm not going to apply too much because I don't want too bold a look. So I'll probably just blend this in and then move on to my other eye. Okay, so now I'm going to do my other eye. Okay, so the next step now is to do an outer corner shade. Now the outer corner shade is usually darker to give you more dimension to your eyes. So I'm going to go in with this shade here, this dark brown, on a Morphe M412 brush. As you can see, it's kind of like a tulip domed shaped brush, perfect for the shape of your outer corners of your eyes. So I'm going to apply it, blend it, and then I'll probably use my crease brush then to blend it through into the crease as well. So I'll talk you through the steps as we go along, because this bit can be tricky because you are working with a darker shade. So build it up slowly, start with a little bit, and this will come out a little bit darker, so just take your time. Just on the outer corners and just start to blend. And then you might want to bring it through into the crease just a little bit. Now I'm going to go back in with my crease shade and my crease brush and just blend that through a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in and deepen up the outer corner shade. And blend again. And I'm just going to do my other eye, and then I'll come back to this one. Okay, now what I like to do now is take a brush that has no powder on it, no eyeshadow, it's just another fluffy crease brush, and I'm just going to blend in all the harsh lines, just to make it all blend together seamlessly. So blending it all nicely. And that was the hardest part of the eyeshadow done. So now it gets easier from here. Now you're going to take a small pencil type brush to apply eyeshadow to your lower lash line. So you're going to take the same crease shade and apply it to your lower lash line. And then you're going to take the outer corner shade and you're going to apply it to the corner of your lower lash line. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a sparkly shade on the inner third of my lid. And I'm going to go in with this shade here. It's a very champagne type sparkly shade. So I'm going to use my little finger. I'm going to rub it in. And then I'm just going to apply that to the lid. I'm going to build up the colour. As you can see, it's sparkly. And there we go, that is your eyeshadow done. Maybe a little bit more blending, but that is it. And that's just a really simple eyeshadow look for you to create. Okay, now setting spray. I'm just going to quickly set my face. This helps to make your makeup last all day and stops it from slipping and sliding. It also keeps it matte because this is a matte one. This is the NYX Matte Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. So just spray your face, hold it from a little distance away. Okay, eyebrows. Now I don't typically fill in my eyebrows, but I know most people do. But when I do, I like to use this one. This is the Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Black and Brown. So it comes with a spoolie at the end, so just brush your eyebrows up. And then use the other end and just fill in strokes upwards where there are gaps. Now I don't have many gaps. I rarely do my eyebrows, so I'm just going to do a little bit, and then obviously you would take your time more with that, but I don't have gaps. And then just brush it in, maybe do it a little bit more there. And then I go in with a clear eyebrow gel just to keep my eyebrows in place all day. So I like to use the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel in the shade Clear. And you just brush it on and it just sets your brows. Now for eyeliner. Now I always use a brown one. It's personal preference, it's up to you. I like to use this one. This is the NYX Slide On Glide On eyeliner in the shade Brown Perfection. I just find this really creamy and smooth and easy to use. So you're going to put the eyeliner in the corner, close your eyes and just drag across. Corner, close your eyes, drag across. Then you're going to do a little bit on your lower lash line. And that is enough for me. Now I'm going to curl my lashes using my Tweezerman eyelash curlers, and I'm going to apply my mascara, and the one I'm using is the Colourpop BFF Volumizing Mascara in the shade Black on Black. So I do brush up strokes and little wiggles just to fully coat the lashes. And then you're going to do your lower lashes. And then the final step is lips. So one of my favourite lipsticks and one of my most affordable lipsticks is this one. It's the Maybelline Colour Sensational lipstick in the shade 725 Tantalizing Taupe, and it's just the perfect nude shade. So just follow the line of your lips. So there you have it. This was my step-by-step, really simple, really basic, how to do your makeup. So I hope that this was helpful to you if you are struggling to learn how to do your makeup, or if you want to try out some new techniques. I hope this was helpful to you. And I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up down below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, so you can see all my other videos. And thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!